I fell off the stage. The doctors declared I would never dance again. And the model husband the entire internet pitted, the man who cried for the cameras, was the one who planned everything. He altered my rehabilitation plan, drugged me to keep me compliant, blocked me from seeing my dying father, and forced me to become a useless shell who could only depend on him. Later, I escaped with evidence, took him to court, and personally tore his lies to shreds. The applause hit like a tsunami. I finished my final triple pirouette, lungs burning, sweat dripping into my eyes. The host's voice trembled with excitement, introducing the new queen of dance, Ava. Flowers flooded the stage. Backstage, I removed my hairpiece, my fingers still shaking. Too perfect. A Broadway debut. Lucas rushed in and wrapped me in his arms. His eyes were wet. "My queen," he said, kissing my forehead. "You did it." Staff crowded around, snapping photos. Tomorrow's headlines were already written. I turned toward the stairs to remove my makeup. My right foot suddenly found nothing. Not a step. Air. I fell. Time slowed. I saw the lights above me. I saw Lucas's face twist in terror. He reached out, but he was too far away. My back slammed into a metal rig. I heard my leg bones break. Crack. The world went black. I woke up to hospital white. The smell of disinfectant burned my nose. My leg was suspended, wrapped in thick plaster. Lucas was slumped beside the bed, eyes bloodshot. "The security cameras were down," he said hoarsely. "The one by the stairs broke last week. Negligence. Those bastards." The doctor entered, his expression grave. "Multiple comminuted fractures. Severe ligament damage." He paused. "Miss Ava, you will never dance again. Your career is over." My ears rang. Lucas gripped my hand. "Don't be afraid." He choked. "I'm here. I'll always be here." His tears went viral. #ModelHusband Lucas exploded online. In the videos, he stood outside my hospital room and told reporters, "I'll take care of her for the rest of my life." Millions of shares. The entire internet mourned for us. My phone was flooded with messages. My agency sent a termination notice. Polite, cold. The company director called. "Ava, we're heartbroken, but the understudy has to step in." The overseas tour contract, the other party requested cancellation. I hung up. Lucas wiped my tears. "Retire," he said gently. "I'll support you." I looked into his sincere eyes and signed the release papers. 3 months later, Lucas proposed in the hospital room, down on one knee, the diamond ring dazzling. "Marry me," he said. "Let me take care of you." I nodded. The wedding was extravagant. The elite of the capital world attended. Lucas held my waist, smiling at everyone. "This is my queen," he always said. "I'll make her happy." A lawyer brought over the prenuptial agreement. "Protective clauses," Lucas explained, "to prevent anyone from exploiting your current condition. If you sign this, I can protect you better." I skimmed the dense text. Signed. Lucas kissed me. "Leave everything to me." After the honeymoon, he took over all my medical decisions. "You just rest," he said. "I'll handle your recovery plan." The first time, his hand rested on my leg. "Honestly, you don't need to dance anymore. Isn't being Mrs. Lucas enough?" I froze. He laughed. "Just kidding." But he handed me a list of rehab doctors. 5 names, all chosen by him. "The best team," he said. "Be good." I clenched the list and nodded. Emily walked in wearing a white coat, long hair, gentle smile. "Hi Ava, I'm your rehab therapist." Emily. Lucas personally hired me. She examined my leg. "We'll take it slow, no rush." The plan was thin. Only basic stretches and light massage each day. "Better to be conservative," Emily said. "Avoid secondary injury." I secretly trained on my own, holding the wall, inch by inch, moving my right foot. It hurt, but I could endure it. On the 4th day, I stood for 10 seconds. Emily pushed the door open. Her face changed. "Who told you to stand?" She forced me back into the chair. A little too roughly. "Your leg can't bear weight." Lucas would be heartbroken if he knew. That night, Lucas held me. "Don't push yourself," he sighed. "When I see you in pain, I can't sleep." He took my hidden rehab notebook. "Trust the professionals, okay?" A week later, I fell in the bathroom. My leg slammed into the edge of the toilet. Pain exploded. I screamed. Lucas rushed in and carried me to the hospital. X-rays showed secondary damage. You need to be even more careful now, the new doctor said. This is worse than before. On the way home, Lucas was silent. That night, he slept with his back to me. The next day, Emily brought new medication. It includes a calming agent, she said softly. It'll help you relax. I took it. I was foggy all day. 3 days later, I noticed the dosage was wrong. The instructions said 1 pill. Emily gave me 2. I asked her. She blinked. The doctor adjusted it. Lucas agreed. That afternoon, I noticed Emily's new necklace. A sapphire pendant. I'd seen it before. Lucas said he lost it last month. He didn't come home that night. Working late. The text said, "Go to bed early." I started having insomnia. I tried to contact my therapist. After our last session, she'd said, "You show signs of anxiety. I recommend twice-weekly sessions." Lucas canceled it. Emily says it's unnecessary. He said, kissing my forehead, "You just need a mindset adjustment." He took my phone. During recovery, avoid negative news. I became a caged bird. Until late one night, my tablet lit up. A message from an unknown number. Just one sentence. "Do you want to know the truth?" My fingers trembled. "Who are you?" The screen went dark. No reply. At 3 a.m., my email chimed. Anonymous sender. No subject. An attachment. Chat screenshots. I opened them. My heart stopped. Lucas and Emily. Timestamp, 2 weeks before my fall. Emily, if her performance succeeds, the overseas contract gets signed. She'll leave New York. Lucas, she can't leave. Proceed as planned. Emily, the risk is high. She could really end up disabled. Lucas, as long as she can walk. It's enough. Being a dancer isn't good for her. Emily, are you sure? Lucas, yes. Make her fall a few times. Don't make it obvious. I'll handle the cameras. The final message, 1 day before the accident. Lucas, tomorrow night. Backstage. Stairwell. Make sure she misses the step. I ran to the bathroom and vomited. Bile burned my throat. I collapsed on the floor, shaking uncontrollably. I remembered how Lucas once ran all over the city buying me dance shoes. "These suit you," he'd said, kneeling to put them on for me. My queen deserves the best. The gentle touch, the devoted gaze, all rehearsed. I crawled back to the bed, teeth chattering. It wasn't an accident. It was the murder of my dream. Systematic suppression. I wasn't a wife. I was an asset that needed to be broken and trained. Before dawn, I did 3 things. First, I turned on automatic audio recording on my phone. Second, I opened a hidden folder on my tablet and uploaded every screenshot. Third, I erased every trace of vomit and lay back in bed. My expression returned to calm. Emily knocked at 9. "How are you feeling today?" she asked with a smile. I lowered my eyes. "Okay." While she massaged my leg, she suddenly said, "Lucas has it hard. You know, the pressure at the company is intense, and he still has to take care of you." I stayed silent. "Sometimes," she continued softly, "a woman being too strong isn't a good thing. Now that you're like this, he actually cherishes you more." I looked up at her. "Is that so?" She froze for a beat. "Of course," she said, smiling again. "He often tells me he likes how much you depend on him now." Lucas came home at noon. He brought my favorite cake. "Emily says you were very well behaved today," he said, rubbing my hair. "Keep it up." I took a bite. "Sweet, but bitter, Lucas," I said quietly. "If I can never dance again, will you resent me?" His expression softened instantly. "How could I?" He squeezed my hand. "I love you. Dancing has nothing to do with it." "What a performance." I lowered my gaze. "Then I'll be good," I said. "I'll stop pushing rehab. Take it slow." His eyes lit up. "You've figured it out?" He hugged me tightly. "That's wonderful. I knew you were sensible." I leaned against his shoulder, closed my eyes, and started acting. That night, I had a breakdown. I smashed a glass, screaming, "I don't want to be useless." Lucas held me. "Don't do this," I shoved him away. My wheelchair slammed into the wall. You're all lying to me. My leg can get better. Emily rushed in, perfectly on cue. Ava, you're under too much pressure. I spiraled for half an hour. Finally, I collapsed, sobbing. I'm sorry. I can't control myself. Lucas wiped his tears. This is my fault. I didn't take good enough care of you. The next day, I voluntarily apologized. I let Lucas push me to the rehab center. In front of Emily, I bowed my head. I'm sorry for what I said yesterday. My voice trembling. I know you're doing this for my own good. Emily smiled gently. It's okay. We understand. Lucas squeezed my hand. I'll rehab with you every day from now on, he said. We'll take it slowly. My obedience earned me privileges. My phone was returned. I was allowed short walks outside. Thursday afternoon. My phone rang. It was the hospital back home. Miss Ava? Your father suffered an acute heart attack. His condition is critical. Emergency surgery is required. You're listed as the primary contact. My hands went ice cold. I called Lucas. He declined. 3 minutes later, he texted, in an important meeting. What's wrong? My dad's in the hospital. My voice shook. He needs surgery. They need family consent. I can't leave right now, he said, sounding troubled. Can a relative go? Or later? It can't wait, I screamed. The doctor said the golden window is only 2 hours. Silence. Calm down, he said finally. I'll have Emily go help you. The call ended. I called again. His phone was off. Emily showed up 30 minutes later. Not at the hospital, at the house. Lucas asked me to stay with you, she said, smiling. Elderly people, life and death are fate. Going there wouldn't change anything. I stared at her. What did you just say? The success rate of the surgery wasn't high anyway. She shrugged. Why put yourself through that? You'd get emotional. It's bad for your leg. I grabbed my crutch and stood. Take me to the hospital. Now. She sighed and called Lucas. On speaker. Lucas. Ava insists on going. But in her condition, stop her. Lucas said coldly. She can't handle that kind of stress. I'll deal with it tonight. The call ended. I stood there. Every drop of blood in my body froze. 4 hours later, the hospital called again. We're sorry, the optimal window was missed. We did everything we could. My father was dead. I sat in the wheelchair and signed the death certificate. My hand didn't shake. Stroke by stroke. When I finished, I looked up at Emily. Are you satisfied? She stepped back. I'm sorry for your loss. I smiled. Tell Lucas, I said softly. I'll mourn properly. From that day on, Ava died. The one who lived on was someone else. The funeral was simple. I insisted on arranging it myself. I didn't notify Lucas's family. When he returned from his business trip, it was already 3 days later. He brought a black suit and a bouquet of white flowers. I'm sorry. He hugged me. The project was at a critical stage. Flight delays. I didn't cry. He studied me. You, okay? I'm fine. That night, he took out a velvet box. A new diamond ring, larger than my wedding ring. A fresh start, he said, dropping to one knee. Forget the pain. I'll take you traveling. Clear your mind. I looked at the ring. No need. Don't be childish. He frowned. I'm doing this for your own good. I opened a drawer and took out a document. Handed it to him. Sign it. He looked down. Divorce agreement. His expression froze. What are you talking about? Divorce, I said calmly. He stared at me, then suddenly laughed. He tore the papers apart. Shreds flew into my face. Are you insane? He hissed. Without me, how will you live? Spend your life in a wheelchair? Who pays your medical bills? He leaned closer. Your father's medical bills aren't fully paid yet, right? $150,000. How are you going to cover that? I raised my eyes. So you admit you're threatening me with medical expenses? He froze. I rolled my wheelchair back slightly. Why is my rehab plan designed entirely to delay recovery? His face changed. Who's been filling your head with this? Did you know about Emily adjusting my medication? That was professional, and the stairwell camera. I cut in. Was it really broken? He went silent. His eyes slowly widened. I turned on my tablet and cast it to the TV. The chat screenshots filled the screen. Lucas's face drained of color. His voice shook. Where did you get? You told Emily to make sure I missed the step. I read aloud. As long as she can walk. It's enough. Being a dancer isn't good for her. I turned off the screen. The room was dead silent. Systematic control, I said softly, turning me into a dependent cripple. Right, Lucas? He lunged for the tablet. I was ready. It was already hidden in the wheelchair's compartment. Delete it, he roared. It's fake. It's already in the cloud. I said. My lawyer, the media, and the police all have copies. He froze. Then he raised his hand. I caught his wrist. With every ounce of strength I had left. The second injury, I said, staring at him. That was part of your plan too, wasn't it? To make me completely lose hope. He broke free and stumbled back 2 steps, breathing hard. What do you want? His voice twisted. To go public? Who would believe you? A crippled, washed-up dancer jealous of her husband and her rehab therapist? I smiled. Let's find out. That night, I packed a small bag. Documents, medication, tablet, voice recorder. At 3 a.m., the nanny was asleep. I wheeled myself into the garage and used the spare key to start the modified hand control car. Reverse. Out through the gate. In the rearview mirror, the villa lights snapped on. Lucas ran outside, chasing for a few steps. I hit the gas and vanished into the night. Lucas's first reaction wasn't to chase me. It was to find Emily. At 6 in the morning, he stormed into the rehab center. Later, security footage showed him dragging Emily into an office. Did you leak the chat logs? He snarled in a low voice. Emily panicked. What logs? I don't know what you're talking about. Ava has our conversations. She ran away last night. Emily's face went white. That's impossible. I deleted everything, so she really has them, Lucas said, his eyes terrifying. You kept backups? I didn't. Maybe a hacker. Emily grabbed his arm. Lucas, you have to trust me. I've done so much for you. He shoved her away. If this blows up, he said coldly, you altered the rehab plan and adjusted the medication on your own. I knew nothing. Emily froze. What are you saying? I'm just a husband who trusted professionals, he said, straightening his cuffs. You abused that trust and harmed my wife. Understood? She started shaking. You can't do this. You told me to do it. You said if she stopped dancing, you'd marry me. Her voice was too loud. Footsteps passed outside the door. Lucas slapped her hard. Emily slammed into the wall and slid to the floor. Proof. He bent down and whispered. All instructions were verbal. Payments were in cash. What can you prove? She broke down crying. I sacrificed everything for you, my career, my conscience. You were just a tool, he said, standing straight. And when a tool breaks, you throw it away. When he left, Emily lay collapsed on the floor, makeup smeared, completely broken. That afternoon, I checked into a cheap roadside motel. My lawyer called. There's a flaw in the prenup, she said. Clause 5, if one party deliberately harms the other's physical or mental health, the agreement is void. Your evidence is enough to initiate invalidation proceedings. I clenched my phone. And there's more, she continued. You invested $500,000 during Lucas's startup phase. The equity registration was incomplete, but the transfer records exist. That portion may be recoverable. Outside the window, the sky darkened. Regarding medical fraud, her tone turned grave. Emily's actions already constitute criminal offenses. We've contacted the medical board. She's under investigation. And Lucas? Harder to charge directly for now, but once public opinion ignites, his company will take a massive hit. After hanging up, I opened the hidden folder. I began organizing the timeline. Chat logs from before the fall, medication dosage changes, rehab plans compared to legitimate medical recommendations, call recordings before and after my father's death, each file labeled with date and source, compressed, encrypted, sent to 3 email addresses, my lawyer, a journalist I trusted, and a senior figure in the dance world. When I hit send, my hand was steady. Revenge had begun. A week later, Lucas's board of directors received anonymous materials. Title: Evidence Summary. CEO Lucas suspected of medical fraud and spousal abuse. At the same time, financial reporters dug up old history. 5 years ago, dance star Ava invested $500,000 in Lucas's startup. Equity ownership now disputed. Lucas rushed to hold a press conference. "My wife has been emotionally unstable since her injury," he said, eyes red. "These accusations are delusions. I love her deeply and am searching for her now." The next day, I registered a new social media account, posted my first video. No face, just my legs, holding parallel bars. I slowly stood, left foot, right foot, 10 seconds upright. In the background, the logo of a rehab center, not Emily's, but the new team I'd secretly hired. Caption, "First step." Shares exploded within minutes. Ava stood up? Didn't they say permanent damage? Public opinion began to shift. On the third day, I posted a second video, with my therapist guarding me. I took my first step. The pain drained my face of color, but I didn't fall. Caption, "Second step." Trending topics detonated. Hashtag Ava recovery miracle. Hashtag Lucas lied. At the same time, my lawyer filed for an emergency asset freeze. Reason, suspected transfer of marital assets. Lucas's company was in a critical IPO phase. The cash flow tightened overnight. Investors demanded answers. Board pressure mounted. On the fourth day, I gave a video interview. I answered only 3 questions. Reporter, "If your leg can recover, why did doctors say it was impossible?" Me, "Because my previous rehab team never intended for me to recover." Reporter, "Did Lucas know?" I played an audio clip. Emily's voice, Lucas said, "As long as you never dance again." The room erupted. Reporter, "What do you want now?" I looked straight into the camera. Justice. That night, Lucas's company stock crashed. He called me. I answered. Didn't speak. "Ava." His voice was hoarse. "Let's talk. I'll give you anything you want. Don't destroy my company." I hung up. Blocked him. On the 5th day, I learned what my shares might be worth. My lawyer called. Exhilarated. The original $500,000 investment, based on current valuation, could be worth over $20 million. And your share percentage is enough to secure a board seat. I stood in front of the mirror, practiced smiling. Gentle, fragile, just like before. Then my face went cold. This was the real me. The headlines exploded in endless variations. Former dance queen accuses husband, he crippled me. Rehab therapist Emily admits tampering with treatment plan. Medical license revoked. Lucas's company IPO indefinitely delayed as investors pull out en masse. When Emily was taken away by judicial authorities, reporters swarmed her. She broke down screaming. It was Lucas. He ordered me to do it. He said if Ava never danced again, he'd marry me. The video went viral overnight. Lucas was placed on emergency suspension. The board issued a statement. "We were unaware of the CEO's personal conduct and will launch an internal investigation." I posted my second video statement. This time, I showed my face, barefaced, sitting in a wheelchair, deliberately without crutches. Many people have asked why I'm only speaking out now. I paused, looking straight into the camera, because when I was lying in a hospital bed, told I would never dance again, the man I trusted, my husband, held my hand and said, "I'll take care of you." When my father was dying and I begged him to sign the surgery consent, he said he was in a meeting. When I realized every so-called accident was carefully designed, I took a deep breath. I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm asking for justice. Veterans of the dance world spoke out in unison. A Broadway director released an open letter. "Ava is the pearl we lost. We stand with her in reclaiming justice." The dance company that once canceled my contract sent an apology. I declined. "No need to apologize," I replied. "Just stand with everyone whose dreams were stolen." Lucas finally issued a public apology. In the video, he looked hollow, exhausted. I admit I made mistakes. I was too afraid of losing Ava and chose the wrong way. Please give me a chance to make it right. The comments exploded. So you were afraid of losing her. So you destroyed her? This is a crime. If apologies worked, why would we need the police? I didn't respond. That afternoon, I uploaded another video. With my therapist's support, I completed a simple dance combination. Soft music, slow movements, but precise. At the end, I faced the camera. Dance is my life. And to anyone who tried to take it from me, I smiled. I will take everything back. The divorce trial began. Lucas's lawyer tried to play the emotional card. My client deeply loves his wife. He simply chose the wrong methods. My lawyer cut him off. Your Honor, please review Exhibits 7 through 12, medical fraud, psychological control, and financial coercion. The judge flipped through the documents. His expression darkened page by page. Lucas confessed in court. I'm willing to give up all my assets. I only ask for Ava's forgiveness. I raised my hand. Your Honor, I said clearly, I do not require emotional statements. Please rule strictly according to the law. The courtroom fell silent. I submitted the complete evidence chain, chat logs, comparative medical reports, financial transfers, witness testimony. A rehab physician testified, MS. Ava's original injuries, with proper rehabilitation, had a high probability of recovery sufficient for professional dancing. The previous treatment plans were deliberately designed to delay healing. Emily testified via video from detention. Lucas instructed me. He promised marriage and financial reward. The judge delivered the verdict. The marriage involved significant fraud and coercion. The prenuptial agreement is invalid. Marital assets will be redistributed, given the husband's malicious harm to the wife's physical health, mental state, and career. The wife is awarded 70% of total assets. Additionally, the wife's early-stage investment in the husband's company is hereby reaffirmed. Based on valuation, cash compensation of $8 million is ordered. The husband shall further pay $2 million in emotional distress damages. Lucas's face turned paper white. I don't have that much cash. Joint properties and personal assets may be auctioned, the judge said, striking the gavel. The hearing ended. I wheeled myself out. Lucas rushed forward, stopped by court officers. Ava, he shouted. I know I was wrong. Give me another chance. I didn't look back. My lawyer handed me documents. All compensation will be paid in installments. Part of his company stock has already been forcibly liquidated to cover the first payment. I nodded. What does he have left? Almost nothing. She smiled. The board has removed him. Properties are mortgaged. He's been cut off socially. I looked out the window. The weather was beautiful. My new rehab team was top tier. The doctor was honest. If you want to dance again, it involves risk. Surgery to repair the ligaments, but they could tear again. I signed the waiver. Do it. The surgery hurt. Waking up hurt more. Rehab was worse. Late at night, the training studio was empty except for me, holding the bar. I lifted my leg. Pain tore through the muscle. I fell. Got up. Fell again. Blood seeped from my knee. The therapist rushed in. That's enough for today. No. I clenched my teeth and stood. Again. 1 month, I could stand for 30 minutes straight. 2 months, simple choreography. 3 months, I attempted turns. The first spin, dizziness. I fell. Slammed into the mirror. The mirror cracked. I lay among the shards, staring at the ceiling. I thought of Broadway lights. I got up. Kept going. In the 4th month, I completed my first full 3-minute solo. When the music ended, I was gasping, drenched in sweat. The therapist applauded, eyes red. A miracle, she said. I shook my head. Not a miracle. Hate and will. A Broadway director came to watch me rehearse. He watched in silence, then asked, "Can you really handle a full-length performance?" "Yes. If you fall mid-show, I'll stand back up." He was quiet for a long time. "New production," he finally said. "The Cage, a woman breaking free. You'll lead." On audition day, the theater was full. I stood center stage. Lights up. Music in. I danced. The pain was still there, but the movement flowed. Every turn, every leap, was a farewell to the past. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. For the final move, I leapt high, landed, and froze. Silence. Then thunderous applause. The director stood, wiping his eyes. "Welcome back, Ava." The announcement of my comeback hit global media like wildfire. Dance Queen rises from the ruins. I shared it, adding only one line, "This is just the beginning." Emily's medical fraud trial began. The evidence was irrefutable. She sobbed, claiming Lucas had used her. The judge was cold. "As a professional, you violated your ethical duties and deliberately harmed a patient. This is unforgivable." The verdict, permanent revocation of her medical license. 3 years in prison, and civil damages of $500,000 to Ava. She fainted on the spot. After her release, she tried to contact Lucas. Her calls always went to busy tone. She posted long rants on social media against him, but they were quickly buried. Nobody cared. She came to see me once, waiting outside my studio. I had the security ask her to leave. She shouted, "Ava, I'm sorry. I was a victim too." I went downstairs. She was gaunt, broken, no trace of the angel in white she once pretended to be. "I apologize." She cried. "Please don't ruin my life." I looked at her silently. "Your life," I said calmly. "You ruined yourself." "I just loved the wrong person." "No," I interrupted. "That wasn't love. That was greed. Complicity in evil." She froze. "On the day my father died, you said, 'Life and death are fate.'" I whispered, "Remember?" Her face went pale. "You're not worth my hate." I turned away. "Because hating you would waste emotion. And you aren't worthy." The security escorted her away. Later I heard she sold all her jewelry, including the sapphire necklace Lucas had given her. Even the money wasn't enough for restitution. She declared bankruptcy. When she left New York, no one saw her off. Her final post, "I regret it. 0 shares. 3 likes." I swiped past without stopping. Her ending was none of my concern. Lucas lost everything. The company was liquidated. Investors sued him for fraud. Properties were auctioned. His social circle vanished. He was photographed living in a cheap apartment, beard unkempt, buying the cheapest beer. Media reporters asked him questions. He muttered to the camera, "I was wrong." I really loved her. The videos went viral, but the comments were merciless. "Nice acting, but too late." "Loved her so much you destroyed her?" Terrifying love. He tried to contact me. Letters. Sent to my studio. I had my assistant handle them. "Do you want to see them?" she asked. "Burn them." He somehow got my private number. Calling late at night. I answered. Said nothing. "Ava." His voice hoarse. "I dream of you dancing every night. Why did I do that?" I stayed silent. "Can we start over? Please? I don't want anything else. Just you." I hung up. Blocked him. Changed my number. A month later. News flashed. Former entrepreneur Lucas hospitalized for suspected alcohol overdose. The picture showed him being lifted onto a stretcher. Eyes vacant. I closed the page. Returned to rehearsal. The night before the Cage's premiere, I received a package. No sender. Inside, an old photo album. All pictures of Lucas and me, wedding, trips, ordinary life. The last page held a letter. Handwriting messy. "Ava, what I truly destroyed wasn't your leg, it was my own life. I deserve this. May you shine forever." I didn't burn it. I didn't keep it. I fed it into the shredder backstage. The machine hummed. Photos shredded into pieces. Before the premiere, I looked at the audience seats. The first row, empty. Reserved for him. Now, permanently vacant. The Cage premiere, a packed theater. Lights dimmed. Music swelled. I stood at the center, entangled in bandages, symbolizing restraint. First movement, breaking free of the bandages. Second movement, pushing open the cage. Third movement, dancing amidst the ruins. Every turn, the pain of the past year. Every leap, new strength. Final climax, 18 consecutive spins, the same number as the night I fell. I landed solidly. Music stopped abruptly. Lights focused. I gasped. Looked up. Silence. Then, thunderous applause. The entire audience rose to their feet. 10 minutes of continuous clapping. The director came on stage. Hugged me. Tears streaming. Media flashbulbs flooded the stage. The next day, headlines were all about me. From cage to stage, Ava's triumphant return. She used dance to deliver the most merciless revenge. More than an artist, a symbol of survival. I founded a foundation, Wings Fund, dedicated to supporting women who have been abused or had their dreams stolen. The first fundraising campaign surpassed $10 million. Lucas's company officially declared bankruptcy. He was investigated for tax evasion and faced possible criminal charges. Gossip tabloids wrote, "Lucas attempted suicide. Hospitalized for treatment." I did not respond. On the day the fund launched, a reporter asked, "Will you ever forgive him?" I smiled. My story isn't about forgiveness. It's about rebirth. The reporter pressed, "And if he truly dies, would you feel sorrow?" I looked straight into the camera. Everyone must take responsibility for their own choices. My emotions are no longer wasted on those unworthy. Thunderous applause filled the room. That night, I danced alone in the studio. No audience. Just for myself. When I finished, I faced the mirror. "You won." The woman in the reflection, eyes firm, unyielding. No more fragility. Lucas died. The news was brief. Former entrepreneur Lucas dies by suicide in his apartment. Note left. Contents unreleased. The funeral was small. Only distant relatives attended. I did not go. A week later, my lawyer delivered a copy of the will. "You don't have to read it," she said. "I will." Inside, pages of confession. I was selfish, fearful, using love as an excuse to destroy you. I atoned with my death, hoping you can truly be free. Final line, "I'm sorry. I love you." I laughed. A cold, bitter laugh tore the will into pieces. The next day, I went to the cemetery. Not his grave, my father's. Placed a single white flower. "Dad," I whispered, "the one who hurt you is gone." The wind blew softly, but I don't feel relieved. I continued. Death is too simple. He escaped judgment, escaped true justice. I knelt, fingertips brushing the gravestone. I will never forgive him. Never. Because forgiveness means erasing the harm. And the harm, it will always be there. I stood, turned, and walked away. Didn't look back. That afternoon, the foundation received a large anonymous donation. Coincidentally, it matched the amount of Lucas's final assets before he died. I instructed my assistant to return it. Note, the fund does not accept charity donations. The assistant hesitated. "That's a huge sum, return it." After the refund, there was no further contact. I continued living. Rehearsals, performances, foundation work. Busy, fulfilled. Occasionally, my leg ached, a reminder of the past. But the pain was no longer a shackle. It was a medal. The final stop of the Cage World Tour, New York. Before the show, backstage, a flower basket arrived. The card read, "To the true queen. Those in the capital world who once looked up to you." I had staff distributed to the audience. The performance began. I gave the most perfect show of my life. At the final bow, the entire theater rose to their feet. In the applause, I looked at the first row. The empty seat remained empty, but I saw countless faces of women, young girls, middle-aged women, elderly ladies. Their eyes shone. Some were crying. I bowed, and when I looked up, I smiled. My final dance, I said into the microphone, is for everyone who has broken free from their cage. Encore, a solo. No music, only the sound of my breath. My footsteps, spins, leaps, pauses. At the final pose, I knelt on one knee, one hand reaching to the sky. The lights dimmed. The world went silent. Then, the applause erupted. Backstage, reporters crowded me. "What's next?" "A new dance production." I said. "Rebirth. Romantic life? Will you consider someone new?" I shook my head. "My story doesn't need a love ending. But you've become a symbol. People call you a representation of female power." I cut them off. "I'm not a representative. I'm just me." From today on, I paused, looking at my reflection in the mirror. My life will no longer be defined by anyone. Tour ended. I returned to the studio, slipped off my shoes. My feet were covered in scars. I traced the marks with my fingers, then laced up a fresh pair of dance shoes. Random music played. I began to improvise. For myself. Only for myself. By the end, I collapsed on the floor, gasping. The ceiling mirror reflected my face. Calm, strong, free. I closed my eyes and whispered, "I survived. And I won." Outside, New York glittered. My world had just begun.